from intelligence
Ooh, you got espionage happened.
Welcome back to On the Branch. We've been sabotaged. It's that one movie.
It's not sabotage. It's espionage.
Oh, demographic data. Oh no, they know what color we are.
Yes, they know how many black people are in the Federation now.
They're going to use
so
that
they can,
against us.
The Ferengi
oh,
can
we're
now
at minus
target
food.
advertisements.
What do we do? I mean, we allocate to food, obviously. I've got to take people out of my mass replicators here.
That sucks.
Yeah. I know,
you still have excess
barely.
energy, though, don't you? Are you powering any buildings? Oh, you don't have the...
This is the planet without that.
Well, you're going to get another point of population in a few turns before that shipyard's built. So
in like 2 more turns, yeah.
Go into the intelligence screen and see if it actually gives you any information. It was the bottom right.
Yeah, the little security net. Report. Do we have a report?
There we go, yes.
Okay. We believe that the following is the work of alien spies. An internal security report on domestic unrest was removed from the classified area. Okay, so they're trying to lower our morale, or check our morale.
Yeah, they checked your morale and find out that it's probably pretty high.
Well, people in the Federation sure are happy.
But here's the thing, you don't know who it was. And the way that you would find that out is by reallocating your points in espionage.
Right.
It's unlikely to be the Ferengi. It's probably the Romulans.
It's probably the Romulans. I mean, it's Romulans.
Because conflict is brewing with the Romulans.
And they're Romulans.
Well, the Cardassians also have, again, Deep Space Nine.
What's the line? Do you want to be ass deep in Romulans for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
You didn't like that line.
Deep Space Nine tried to say that the Cardassian Obsidian Order is better than the Tal Shiar. And then they pretended that the Dominion intelligence and security was better than both.
Yeah.
So, there's...
power creep everywhere at all
Star
times.
Trek has always had power creep, and it's like getting to the point where I think it's becoming more and more obnoxious.
Celtris is probably the next best place to go after, right?
To colonize?
Yeah, that's got that class
M. You're going to build your outpost, right? Did you decide on...
I started the Altros and Erikang. I started building it there.
Okay.
And then I've got this destroyer on the way there.
The Trill built a ship.
Ooh, the Trill have a ship.
Now, this is fun.
3 warships. Holy cow, who are they going to war with? Hopefully not me.
If you annex the Trill, if they join the Federation, you get those ships.
Oh, so I need to make my next diplomatic push, huh? How much money do I have? I've got 1,211. First I need to check all my build stuff and make sure I'm not ordering anything finished soon.
In general, the minor races ships cap
I have
out
a pip to assign here.
at like a very low relative strength, but because we started with everybody's tech level at 2, the minor race ships are actually pretty good.
Okay.
Early in the game. But later in the game, when you're like...
They become garbage.
Yeah, when your tech's levels are all like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the minor race ships are like little more than scouts at that point.
Well, how do the Trill
or
like
cannon
us
fodder.
now? Scroll wheels didn't exist the year this game was built. I forgot that. I think that's another point.
Yeah, I think it went up a point.
Yeah, let's see if they want to become members. Let's give them a little bit of money to sweeten the deal. What do you think, 800?
Again, you're the president of the Federation. You decide how much money you want to bribe them.
I mean, our money becomes their money, doesn't it? So, right?
You mean their money becomes our money?
You're right? Don't we get the money back?
I think you would lose
I think it's gone, yeah.
Yeah.
I know,
that would be...
All right, let's see if they'll take us. We'll find out in 2 turns whether or not the Trill join the Federation. So, okay, the origin of the Borg is less dumb than we were worried about.
Well, in that we...
Or at least we dodged a bullet. There might be another bullet coming. How about that?
Yeah, we predicted that the big secret of the Zodvosh was that they knew that the Romulans, like thousands of years ago, had like secretly or accidentally created the Borg.
And it looks like either another race did or it's unrelated, and that race, the warning race, was actually just built their own separate synthetic life that wasn't the Borg, and they're warning like either they or someone else will come and wipe life out. That's what we think is going on with the warning.
And
it could all be propaganda, right? The Zodvosh could have made it all up.
Yeah, well, and I didn't watch the second season of Star Trek Discovery yet because, again, the first season was so bad that I just haven't cared enough to watch the second season yet. But I'm wondering if this ancient precursor civilization is either going to be or is going to tie into the like Red Angel character that was in season 2 of Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, hey, look, there's a star system here. Aren't
because
you glad you told me to go look?
I think I have read like leaked information that says that Picard is supposed to explicitly tie into Star Trek Discovery at some point. So
that's weird, and I wouldn't like it, but okay.
Oh, anything that ties Star Trek Discovery into the rest of canon is something that I automatically have extreme distaste for.
Yeah, I would be against it. So if people
I'm actually still bitter that they ran with the destruction of Romulus thing in core canon, because I was hoping that after the 2009 movies that they would just forget all that crap and but whatever. And again, a lot of that is because I like the Romulans. I've always had
they're one of the,
the
more entertaining race. Ooh, whose ship is that?
That's your outpost.
Oh, that's my outpost. Cool.
Your 27%
it's done already?
constructed outpost. Ooh.
Oh no, it's
hey, check it out. The Romulans have ships on Trill.
They're also pushing their territory.
Are they warships?
It's a scout ship.
Okay.
Yeah, they've increased their influence though. You see
Romulans
they're right next to Sol.
The Romulans conquered Binus. You want to make sure that they're not also trying to conquer Trill.
Yeah, I mean they're terraforming regularly here.
I don't know if we mentioned it before, but I was never quite clear on.
Oh, look, we've got Ferengi have expanded all the way over here.
I was never quite clear on how the expansion of territory worked in this game. I don't know if the Romulans maybe built an outpost, or they built a shipyard, or maybe just their population grew, and that pushed their territorial influence out further. I could never figure out where exactly that comes from. Maybe it's in the instruction manual, which is 300 pages long, and I have a copy of that with me.
Actually, I should build. Oh wait, that's right. Mizar again are allies. I can't colonize them.
Correct. You can terraform.
They're not allies, but they're not. Yeah,
they're a sovereign.
So there's no point in sending another ship here. I'm just going to keep being nice to them and hope that they choose me over.
Did you terraform their worlds though?
Yeah, I'm terraforming one of their worlds. I haven't finished it. It's gonna finish next turn. So that after that, I'm gonna be like, hey, do you want to be a little more friendlier now that I'm building up your system? It's the goddamn what's the plan? The Marshall Plan.
And also make sure that your scout way down to the south is
still
doing stuff.
I sent him over. So yeah, I think it's time to pass the turn. It always feels like I need to do a lot more things because this game is pretty well streamlined.
Have a nearly perfect society, but they pay a high price. Their enhanced soldiers deserve social as well as military respect.
Okay, they look like white supremacists, but okay.
Terraforming completed. Diplomatic messages
that's what gives
received.
them the perfect society. There's no non-white people in
it. So what were your last...
Which is tongue-in-cheek, sarcasm. I'm not...
We're not going to get a Q episode. That's the thing I've realized. We're 2 episodes away from the finale. There's no Q.
Unless the Q happened to turn out to be this precursor civilization that kills everyone.
Oh, that would be cool. The warning is no longer valid, and the Jot Bosch have just been around, going around being assholes for no reason.
That could be it too, because Q never had a problem with Data.
Yeah.
But in the first episode...
Are people suggesting that these people became the Q Continuum?
No, but in the first... Here's... Let me, explain where I'm coming from. In the first couple of episodes with Q, they kind of set this idea up that the Q were kind of policing the galaxy, right? Because remember, in Encounter at Farpoint and in Q Who, he was telling Picard and the crew of the Enterprise that they had gone too far.
Yeah?
Further than they should go.
Oh.
So that same kind of logic could be used to say, well, hey, this ancient civilization is going too far by building intelligent sentient androids, and we need to put a stop to this because it's going to disrupt the balance of the galaxy or whatever the hell nonsense justification they have for thinking they have a right to police everyone else. So it could be the Q. I don't think it will. Like I said, I think it's probably going to tie into the villain of Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which I haven't seen and know virtually nothing about. So if you've seen Star Trek Discovery 2nd season and that just makes absolutely no sense, then disregard what I'm saying, because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
The Frank, you're asking for a bribe.
Should I give them the bribe? I think I will.
If you refuse it, it will lower their opinion of you.
Yeah, and will it increase their opinion if I accept it? How much money do I have? Let's
You've
go
been
back
running
and check.
with over 1,000.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Game,
I'll happily bribe them if it means they like me better, because I'm not in any conflict. I'm not after any territory they are.
You don't want to have conflict on
Treaty
two
will
opposing
be
fronts.
accepted.
Because if war starts with the Romulans over here,
Yeah.
yeah,
Who did I just meet again?
you met the Angosians.
Thank you. Yeah, let's be friends.
They're
we're all
already
white
receptive. They'll accept this.
We're all white here. Yeah, no mixed races. Not a United Federation of this United Federation of planets is only white American human planets. No diverse coalition of many races here. No siree. Don't hide the Andorians, Jason. Get in the closet.
Damn blueskins. That actually reminds me. Do you ever watch Steve Shives' YouTube channel, Trek Actually?
I do not. I did not know he had transitioned to only Trek.
Oh, did you know him from?
I
as a
knew
content
him
creator
from
previously?
his previous career of being which one is Steve Shives? Oh yeah, Steve Shives is the one that Anita Sarkeesian's hubby like rips his look off of. Yeah, I remember liking Steve Shives.
He had.
I had to remember who the hell he was.
He had a pretty good episode of Trek Actually recently.
Should we invite them again?
That is no, they just rejected it last turn. So
okay, but I also just finished. Oh wait, no, that's someone else. I just finished terraforming for them.
So Steve Shives had
it was a Mizars
good episode recently of Trek Actually on YouTube, which was basically about why he thinks Star Trek might appeal to people of a conservative mindset.
Okay, yeah, because that always confused me because the ideals it espouses are so opposite.
Now he's very condescending in that episode because he, clearly dislikes people of conservative mindsets, and I'm not a big fan of them either.
But you're a little nicer about how you engage with them.
I'm a little bit more tactful.
Yeah.
But he makes a lot of interesting points, and one of them is that the future that Star Trek presents. In addition to being the socialist, democratic socialist paradise that you and I love it for, it also shows a world in which this basically United States surrogate civilization imposes its military will everywhere it goes. And
everyone should conform to us.
And they're always right.
Yeah, they're cultural imperialists.
It's what Republicans think our military does.
Right. Well, I would call it a neoliberal outlook, right? It's our culture is better than yours, so you should just adopt it. You should just see how great we are and adopt it.
Right. Now, I like to think of it more as leading by example.
Yeah.
But if you are someone, who is of the Republican or conservative mindset, then yes, you see them as an avatar for modern, U.S. Military cultural hegemony.
Yeah, and I that seems like a reasonable take on that.
On top of that, and this actually ties into criticisms of newer Star Trek like Discovery and Picard.
Real quick, my colony ships can only go to the yellow line, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Another point that he makes is that
over then. Oh, I need to check planets.
The future of Star Trek also. So one of the things that we like about Star Trek is that it shows a humanity that is better than what humanity is now. Right?
Yeah,
it's a humanity.
That's what you and I like, yes.
It's a humanity that has solved poverty and crime and disease and social injustice and economic inequality, but only on Earth. Only for humans and other member states of the Federation. So all of the social problems that happen you had a bunch of unassigned population points there. What the hell happened?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened?
Somehow you took everybody off of food and 35 or 29
I didn't
million...
click it once. That had to be
Yeah, 29 million people have died of starvation in the Sol system in the past few turns.
Have they?
Yeah, you look at your population, 308 out of 335.
All right, we're going to revert to a previous save.
Every point of that, I think, is supposed to represent 1 million people.
We're going to go back to a previous save, and then Jason's going to wrap up what he was saying.
So, so all of the social and economic injustice problems that happen in Star Trek are always happening to someone else. So, from a conservative or Republican or regressive mindset watching Star Trek, it presents to you a future in which humans don't have to ever change what we're doing. Right? Star Trek never points the finger at us directly and says, we need to change what we're doing. It's always those other people over there need to change what they're doing. And to compare that to, more contemporary modern politics, that's like saying the United States is always right. It's the Chinese and the Russians and everyone else that needs to, get with the times. Because we're doing everything right.
Yeah. All right, well, let's tell everyone to start doing what they were already doing.
Planet for terraforming.
And real quick, that is used as a counterpoint to people like us complaining about Star Trek Picard showing a Federation that now once again has poverty and racism and xenophobia and stuff like that. All the same problems that we have now that you and I wanted humanity and Star Trek to outgrow, which are back. It's Star Trek Picard's way of pointing the mirror back at us and saying, no, we actually still need to work to make this stuff better. We can't get complacent. And Star Trek has always done that. There have been episodes of, Golden Age Star Trek. Like, look at episodes like The Drumhead of TNG or In the Pale Moonlight.
Or Conspiracy.
And I just rewatched last night or the night before the DS9 episode In the Pale Moonlight, which is one of the best episodes of DS9. But again, one of the things that makes those acceptable is that they're challenging the ideals that are presented by Star Trek, but those ideals always... You need to reassign your trade route again. You went back to before you...
Oh, yeah, thank you.
But those ideals always win out in the end. And they're always accepted as being, like, what, how society should work. And the issue that we have with things like Star Trek Picard is that it looks like people are just accepting that there's poverty and nobody cares. They're just accepting that everyone's racist against Romulans and nobody cares. Like, there doesn't seem to be any attempt or desire to be better.
Yeah?
Whereas in previous Star Trek, all of the characters were always aware that they were faltering to live up to those ideals. Right? And then and then by the end of the episode, the whole point was getting back to conforming to those ideals.
Yeah, right. Every time you violated the Prime Directive, you wanted to not be violating the Prime Directive.
Right. Or in those situations where there was some unjust persecution going on, by the end of the episode, everybody was in agreement that prejudice was or that persecution was unjust. And then we go back to a status quo where that prejudice doesn't exist anymore. But like I said, in Star Trek Picard, it just looks like that's the reality now, and everyone's just living with it. And that's not a future that I liked Star Trek for, the 34 years that I've been alive, because it always presented a future that I wanted to live in. The future presented by Star Trek Picard is not a future that I would want to live in.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of the charm. That is a lot of the charm that the show has lost, or the franchise has lost, because I think the makers of the show don't understand that that's what we liked about it.
But
or they don't care and they're just appealing to a larger audience, right? That's also a possibility.
They want to make it topical, and it is a valid point that we should be pointing the mirror back at ourselves, especially in this day and age, and saying, no, we have to get our shit together. It's not everyone else that needs to get their shit together, it's us.
Yeah.
And that's valid, but there's plenty of science fiction that's already doing that. I prefer the version of Star Trek where we've already done that, and that is the status quo. Right, and
do you mean like the original series in Next Generation?
Right, where it's
culture has been discovered.
It's achievable.
Back to the white supremacists. All right, well, next time you see us, we're gonna be either on a different game or farther through this game, a different run of this game, Birth of the Federation, and we're gonna be talking about the finale. Right, Jason?
Yeah,
for MegaBearsFan.net.
Possibly among other things.
We haven't mentioned your MegaBearsFan.net affiliation, all series on this one, so yeah.
Yes, I have a blog. If you want to hear more or read more of my ramblings, check it out at megabearsfan.net.
Next time on the megabearsfan.net.